To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigo Learn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
So today we are going to discuss about meetings of a company. Now when we talk of meetings of a company, let's first understand what are the different types of meetings which are held in a company, and then we'll understand about the main meetings or the important meetings which are held in a company. So when we talk of meetings of company, the meetings are divided into three categories. The first category is meeting of the shareholders of the company. So जहाँ पे company के members का meeting होता है उसको बोलते हैं meeting of shareholders. So we'll understand what is the meeting of shareholders, what are the different types of meetings where the shareholders or the members of the company are involved. The second type of meeting is board meeting. So board meeting, as the name itself suggests, is a meeting of the board. Board means what? Board of directors. So the second classification is board meetings, जहाँ पे जो board of directors होते हैं उनका meeting होता है. And the third classification is class meetings. Now class meetings are for specified categories of persons. Say for example, creditors of the company or preference shareholders of the company. So उनके लिए जो meetings होती है, उनकी जो meetings होती है, उनको class meetings बोला जाता है. So let's understand what are the different types of meetings which are held in a company and also the provisions with respect to different types of meetings. तो जब हम कंपनी की मीटिंग्स का बात करते हैं, हमने फर्स्ट क्लासिफिकेशन किया मीटिंग ऑफ द मेंबर्स और शेयर होल्डर्स ऑफ द कंपनी. सो कौन सी मीटिंग्स होती है जहाँ पे मेंबर्स इन्वॉल्व होते हैं? व्हाट आर द मीटिंग्स वेयर द मेंबर्स ऑफ द कंपनी आर इन्वॉल्व्ड? सो देयर आर टू क्लासिफिकेशंस हियर. One is annual general meeting. And the second one is extraordinary general meeting. Annual general meeting is also referred to as AGM and extraordinary general meeting is nothing but EGM. अभी एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग क्या होता है? एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग इज अ मीटिंग व्हिच हैज टू बी मैंडेटरीली हेल्ड, मतलब कंपल्सरीली ये मीटिंग कंपनी को हर साल करना होता है. सो एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग के बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं तो दिस इज अ कंपल्सरी और अ मैंडेटरी मीटिंग व्हिच हैज टू बी कंडक्टेड बाय द कंपनी. Which means अगर एक कंपनी एक साल में AGM कंडक्ट नहीं करता, is it valid? No, it is not. A company has to mandatorily conduct an AGM every year. Now talking of EGM, is it compulsory for a company to hold EGM? The answer is no. EGM compulsory नहीं होता है. EGM is basically a meeting जो एक urgent business या फिर एक urgent decision लेने के लिए conduct किया जाता है, wherein AGM को अभी बहुत time है. AGM का टाइम अभी आया नहीं है और दो AGMs के बीच में there is some matter which requires urgent attention और immediate attention. तो उस सिचुएशन में EGM कंडक्ट किया जाता है. So EGM is not mandatory, whereas when we talk of AGM, AGM is mandatory in nature. So these are the two types of meetings of shareholders of the company. अभी दूसरा क्लासिफिकेशन हमने देखा था बोर्ड मीटिंग्स का. So board meetings, the name itself suggests, is meeting of the board, and board means what? Board of directors. So whenever decisions are being made in a company, there are different types of decisions which are taken in a company. So जो company के decisions होते हैं, there are a few decisions which are taken by members. There are decisions जहाँ पे board of directors take the decisions, a few decisions where the board of directors have the authority to make a decision. So those decisions wherein the board of directors have the authority, वो सारे decisions लिए जाते हैं in the board meetings. So it is a meeting wherein the shareholders are not involved, the members of the companies are not involved. It is only the board of directors, the directors of the company, they come together and take decisions, and that type of meeting is referred to as a board meeting. And the last type of meeting is a class meeting. So when we talk of class meetings, ये क्या होती है? Class meetings are basically wherein meetings of special class of persons or a special category of persons, could be meetings of creditors of the company or preference shareholders of the company. So जब हम class meeting की बात करते हैं, it is a meeting which is held by a special category of persons, say for example a group of creditors or the preference shareholders of the company. So with this we've now understood what is the basic classification of meetings of the company. So basic classification क्या होता है meetings का, what are the different types of meetings which are held in a company, we've understood that. Now let's understand about meeting of shareholders. So we'll first start with AGM, that is annual general meeting, and then we'll move ahead with EGM, that is what is an extraordinary general meeting and what are the situations wherein an extraordinary general meeting is held. Let's now talk about annual general meeting. Annual General Meeting is dealt with under Section 96 of the Companies Act 2013. Let's understand what it says. So, as we have understood, Annual General Meeting mandatorily hota hai. Every company has to hold an Annual General Meeting every year. So, this meeting is a compulsory meeting. So just like every school has an annual function every year, every school has a sports day every year, similarly उसी तरह से हर कंपनी जो है, हर कंपनी को हर साल एक एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग होल्ड करना पड़ेगा wherein they review the financial statements of the company, they decide upon the dividend, they decide upon who will be the auditor for the next year, and also about the appointment or retirement of directors of the company. So these are some of the things which are dealt with, which are discussed upon in the annual general meeting. Now when we talk of annual general meeting, the first question which comes up is company को कब hold करना पड़ेगा annual general meeting? What is the time when the company has to hold its annual general meeting? So अभी जो time है, this is divided into two situations again. The first one is with respect to the first AGM. So first AGM कब होगा company का? If it is a newly incorporated company, अभी company शुरू हुई है, तो उसका फर्स्ट AGM कब होगा, टाइम लिमिट क्या है फर्स्ट AGM होल्ड करने के लिए. एंड द सेकेंड सिचुएशन इज फॉर ऑल द सब्सिक्वेंट AGMs. नाउ टॉकिंग ऑफ फर्स्ट AGM, the first AGM of the company should be held within 9 months from the closing of financial year. Now say for example, date of incorporation of a company is say 17th of August 2021, which means financial year कब end होगा? Financial year end होगा 31st of March 2022 को. तो ये रहा first financial year of the company. The company was incorporated on 17th of August 21. So the financial year will end on 31st of March 22. Now let's talk of what will be the date of AGM or what will be the last date up to which AGM has to be conducted. So हमने समझा है कि first AGM जो होता है, only the first AGM, we are talking about the first AGM right now. तो जो first AGM होता है, it should be conducted within 9 months from the end of the financial year or from the close of the financial year. And हम सबको पता है financial year कब end होता है. Financial year ends on 31st of March. Here financial year has ended on 31st of March 22. Abhi, what will be the last date up to which the AGM should be conducted? So that is 9 months from 31st of March 2022, which comes to 31st of December 22. So 31st of December becomes the last date up to which AGM can be conducted. The first AGM of the company can be conducted. So first AGM के लिए time limit क्या है? Within 9 months from the end of the financial year or from closure of the financial year. So the first AGM of every company shall be held within 9 months from the end of the first financial year, from the end of the financial year. So we have understood what shall be the date up to which first AGM of the company shall be held. So अगर company 31st December तक ऐसे AGM hold कर रही है, so in the year of incorporation, company need not conduct any AGM. So where the company is holding its first AGM within 9 months from the end of the financial year, उस सिचुएशन में कंपनी को अपने ईयर ऑफ इनकॉर्पोरेशन, दैट इज द ईयर इन विच इट वाज इनकॉर्पोरेटेड, उसमें कोई एजीएम कंडक्ट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. देयर इज नो नीड फॉर द कंपनी टू कंडक्ट एनी एजीएम इन द ईयर ऑफ इट्स इनकॉर्पोरेशन. नाउ दिस वाज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू फर्स्ट एजीएम ऑफ द कंपनी. लेट्स नाउ अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम्स. सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम्स कब कंडक्ट होने चाहिए? व्हाट इज द टाइम लिमिट स्पेसिफाइड फॉर द सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम्स ऑफ द कंपनी? सो व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम, यहाँ पे हमें दो चीज़ें देखनी पड़ेगी. एंड अर्लियर ऑफ द टू विल बिकम द लास्ट डेट अप टू विच द एजीएम शैल बी कंडक्टेड. नाउ व्हाट आर द टू थिंग्स? कौन सी दो चीज़ें हैं जो हमें देखनी होगी फॉर सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम्स? फर्स्ट क्राइटेरिया इज दैट subsequent AGMs, every subsequent AGM shall be held within 6 months from the end of the financial year. फर्स्ट AGM के लिए लिमिट क्या था? फर्स्ट AGM के लिए लिमिट था 9 months from the end of the financial year. बट सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम्स के लिए जो लिमिट है वो है 6 months फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल ईयर. सो ऑल द सब्सीक्वेंट एजीएम्स दे शैल बी हेल्ड विद इन 6 months फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल ईयर. बट देयर इज वन मोर थिंग विच हैज टू बी कंप्लाइड विद. नाउ व्हाट इज दैट वन मोर थिंग? द अदर थिंग इज गैप बिटवीन टू एजीएम्स शुड नॉट बी मोर देन 15 months. मतलब क्या? दो एजीएम्स के बीच में जो गैप होगा, द टाइम गैप बिटवीन टू एजीएम्स, इट शुड नॉट एक्सीड 15 months. दैट इज द सेकेंड थिंग विच हैज टू बी कंप्लाइड विथ. So whichever date comes earlier will become the last date up to which the AGM has to be held. Let's understand this with help of an example. So say in the year 2021, AGM of a company was held on 31st of July 2021. The 31st of July 2021 was the date of AGM. Now, for the financial year 21-22, we know that the AGM should be held within 6 months from the end of the financial year. The financial year ends on 31st of March 22. So, which means 6 months comes to 30th of September 22. This is the first date which we'll look at. And the second thing which we'll have to make sure is जो last AGM हुआ है, जो 31st जुलाई 2021 में जो AGM हुआ है उसमें, और इस साल जो AGM हम कंडक्ट करने वाले हैं उस AGM में there should not be a gap of more than 15 months. Maximum gap allowed is 15 months. Now when does this 15-month gap come up, और what will be the last date अगर हम 15 month का gap देखें? So वो कौन सा date आएगा? Comes to 31st of October 2022. So here, whichever is earlier will be the last date for conducting of AGM. So whichever is earlier, here it is 30th of September 2022. So the AGM for the financial year 21-22 should be conducted on or before 30th of September 2022. if it is conducted on or before 30th of September 2022, both the conditions are complied with. It is held within 6 months from the end of the financial year, and also the gap between two AGMs is not more than 15 months. 15 months ka gap comes to 31st of October. So it is well within the gap. So there is no problem. But say if the gap of 15 months would have been 31st of August 22 instead of 31st of October 22. Then in that situation, the last date to conduct AGM would have been 31st of August 2022 and not 30th of September. So both the conditions have to be complied with. हमें दोनों चीज़ make sure करना पड़ेगा कि जो subsequent AGMs है, कंपनी के जो भी AGMs हो रहे हैं, एक तो within 6 months from the end of the financial year हो रहे हैं, और जो पिछला AGM हो गया है, जो AGM ऑलरेडी कंडक्ट हो चुका है और उसमें और अभी जो AGM कंडक्ट होने वाला है उसमें 15 महीने से ज़्यादा का गैप नहीं होना चाहिए. So these are the two things which have to be made sure. One, the AGM should be conducted within 6 months from the end of the financial year, and the gap between two AGMs should not be more than 15 months. So these are the two very important conditions to be complied with. So with this, we have now understood what is the time limit for conducting AGMs. Now say, for some reason, AGM could not be conducted within the time limit specified. मतलब आपको करना था AGM conduct within 6 months from the end of financial year, but for some reason, the company was not able to conduct the AGM within 6 months. So, is there a possibility कुछ extension मिलने की? अभी जैसे ICI भी आपको अलाउ करता है थोड़ा बहुत एक्सटेंशन फॉर फिलिंग अप योर एग्जाम फॉर्म्स विथ लेट फी, राइट. ICI आपको अलाउ करता है कि अगर आप एग्जाम फॉर्म का डेट के बाद आप फिल करो एग्जाम फॉर्म तो थोड़ा एक्सटेंशन पीरियड भी देता है. यू कैन फिल इन एग्जाम फॉर्म अप टू दिस डेट बट विथ लेट फीस. सो सिमिलरली यहाँ पे क्या होता है कंपनी के केस में, इफ अ कंपनी फॉर सम रीजन कुड नॉट होल्ड इट्स AGM विद इन 6 months फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल ईयर, तो उस सिचुएशन में द कंपनी कैन अप्रोच द रजिस्ट्रार. कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार के पास जा सकती है और बोल सकती है कि मिस्टर रजिस्ट्रार, हमें थोड़ा एक्सटेंशन दे दीजिए, हम हमारा AGM कंडक्ट नहीं कर पाए फॉर सो एंड सो रीजन. दिस वाज द रीजन, और इस रीजन के कारण हम लोग हमारा AGM कंडक्ट नहीं कर पाए विद इन द रिक्वायर्ड टाइम लिमिट, सो प्लीज ग्रांट अस सम एक्सटेंशन. So in that situation, the registrar will look at the situation, consider the situation, and he has the authority, he may grant an extension of up to 3 months. So maximum extension कितना मिलेगा? Maximum extension जो मिलेगा वो होगा up to 3 months. So if the company misses out on the 6 months time limit, they may approach the registrar, and the registrar, depending on the situation, he may grant an extension of up to 3 months. So 3 months का extension the registrar can provide. But this 3 months of extension is only and only in case of subsequent AGMs. And this is not allowed in case of the first AGM. So the registrar may grant extension of up to 3 months, but this is only in case of subsequent AGMs, and extension of time limit for conducting AGMs will not be allowed, will not be provided for the first AGM. First AGM का time limit already 9 months है. अब 9 months में भी आप कंडक्ट नहीं कर पाओ और फिर रजिस्ट्रार के पास जाके बोलते हो कि हमको एक्स्ट्रा टाइम दो, रजिस्ट्रार बोलेगा नहीं, आपका टाइम लिमिट जो है वो खत्म हो चुका है, एंड वी आर नॉट granting you any extension. But for subsequent AGMs, yes, the registrar may grant you extension, and the maximum time period for extension is 3 months. Now, a question would come in your mind that is it mandatory for every company to hold AGM? Answer is both yes and no. Now, why yes? हाँ yes, हर कंपनी को AGM कंडक्ट करना पड़ेगा. अभी no क्यों बोला मैंने? No इसलिए बोला because एक 1-person कंपनी जो है which has only 1 person as its member, तो एक मेंबर आएगा और खुद के साथ ही मीटिंग करके चला जाएगा, ऐसा तो नहीं होता है. So every company except a one-person company is required to hold AGM every year. So whether it is a Section 8 company, whether it is a company limited by shares, guarantee, unlimited company, कोई भी type की company हो, listed, unlisted, every company has to conduct AGM every year. हाँ, except one person company, because there's only one person as a member in that company. तो एक person आके खुद के साथ मीटिंग करके तो नहीं जाएगा, तो इसलिए एक्सेप्शन दिया है टू अ वन पर्सन कंपनी. जब हम एजीएम की बात करते हैं, टू थिंग्स वुड अगेन कम टू योर माइंड कि कौन से टाइम पे होता है एजीएम, what is the time when the AGM is conducted, and what is the place where the AGM is conducted. कौन से टाइम पे, कौन सी जगह पे, कहाँ पे होना चाहिए AGM. So when we talk of time, it is the AGM has to be conducted during business hours, and it cannot be conducted on a national holiday. I'm sure you all must be aware of what national holidays are. 3 ही national holidays होते हैं, 26 January, 15th of August and 2nd of October. So national holidays here mean the national holidays, the dates which have been specified as national holidays by the central government. So when we talk of conducting AGM, AGM can be conducted on any day except a national holiday during business hours. Business hours मतलब 9 to 6. ये टाइम पे AGM कंडक्ट हो सकता है. So it has to be conducted during business hours on any day except a national holiday. Now talking about the place of AGM. AGM कहाँ कंडक्ट होना चाहिए? अभी टाइम के बारे में तो हमें पता चल गया, but where shall AGM be conducted? So say for example you are hosting a house warming party. अब आपका हाउस वार्मिंग पार्टी है तो आपके घर पे ही होगा? Yes or no? Definitely yes. House warming party है, you've made a new house and you're inviting your friends to your house warming party. तो but obvious house warming party घर पे ही होना चाहिए. So when we talk of AGM of a company, AGM of the company भी कंपनी के घर पे होना चाहिए. कंपनी का घर मतलब क्या? रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस. So जब हम AGM की बात कर रहे हैं, AGM should be held at the registered office of the company. तो फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट तो ये है कि रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस पे हो. बट से कंपनी के मेंबर्स का साइज बहुत बड़ा है और रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस का साइज बहुत छोटा है. The registered office will not be able to fit in so many shareholders, so many members, so many people who are going to come and attend the AGM. तो उस सिचुएशन में the AGM can be held at a place other than registered office as well, but it has to be in the same city, town or village where the registered office is situated. तो क्या कंडीशन आ गया यहाँ पे? कंपनी का AGM should be held at the registered office. The first preference is always to the registered office. But say if it is not possible to hold the AGM at the registered office of the company, then in that situation the AGM can be held at any place but within the same city, town or village where the registered office of the company is situated. So इसे अगर आपका रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस हैदराबाद में है तो आप मुंबई में जाके अपना AGM कंडक्ट नहीं कर सकते. आपको हैदराबाद में ही अपना AGM कंडक्ट करना पड़ेगा. You cannot go to any other place and conduct your AGM. Your registered office is situated in Hyderabad. Either do it at your registered office or do it in the same city, town or village where your registered office is situated. You cannot go to any other place or any other city, town or village to conduct your AGM. But इसका एक exception है. मतलब क्या? There is a situation where the AGM can be conducted at a city, place or town other than the city where the registered office is situated. अब वो कब possible है? वो possible है in case of unlisted companies. So in case of unlisted companies, the AGM can be held at a place other than the place where the registered office of the company is situated, provided that, so there is a condition. ऐसा नहीं कि company will decide कि okay fine, we want to hold our AGM at other place. They will first have to obtain approval of the members. So approval of members is required either in writing or through any electronic mode. So if an unlisted company wants to conduct its AGM at a place other than where its registered office is situated, in that situation they can do so, but only with prior approval of the members in writing or through any electronic mode. So if the members do not agree, the unlisted company also cannot hold its AGM at a place other than the place where the registered office of the company is situated. So an unlisted company can hold its AGM anywhere in India, provided that they have obtained approval from all the members. So approval of all the members, consent of all the members in writing or through electronic mode shall be obtained in advance by this unlisted company if they want to hold their AGM at a place other than the place where its registered office is situated. So if they want to hold their AGM at any place in India, they'll have to comply with this rules and regulations. Now, what if the meeting is not held within time limit, or some provisions of section 96 are not complied with? Then what? Will the meeting become void? क्या meeting void हो जाएगा just because it has not been held within the time limit? The answer is no. Meeting will not become void. Meeting will still be a valid meeting. But yes, company को penalty pay करना पड़ेगा. Penalty is specified in section 99. फाइन जो है वो सेक्शन 99 में स्पेसिफाई किया गया है, एंड द फाइन इज ₹1 lakh. There's a delay, flat fine of ₹1 lakh, and not only ₹1 lakh, but there's addition to this as well. Now what is that addition? बहुत महंगा पड़ेगा ये एडिशन, और वो महंगा इसलिए पड़ेगा बिकॉज इट इज़ 5,000 पर डे ऑफ delay. 1 lakh is a fine which you have to pay any which ways, but in addition to that 1 lakh, जितने भी दिन का डिले हो रहा है उस दिन का 5,000 बढ़ता जाएगा. So the company has to be mindful if they are making any delay in holding the AGM. Meeting will be valid, but company will have to pay this fine of 1 lakh rupees plus additional 5,000 for every day up to which the delay continues. So this is the fine which has been prescribed under section 99 of the Companies Act 2013. So we've now understood AGM क्या होता है, what is the time limit for conducting AGM, what is the place, and what is the time when the AGM should be conducted. Let's now talk of extraordinary general meeting. So the name itself suggests, यहाँ पे से name itself suggests EGM मतलब कुछ extraordinary हुआ है और उस चीज़ के लिए ये मीटिंग कंडक्ट करना पड़ रहा है. AGM तो एनुअल मीटिंग है, उसको कंडक्ट करना ही पड़ेगा. EGM is not something which happens every year. It may or may not happen. So EGM is for some special business. Business here refers to the agenda or the purpose, the matter with which the meeting is being conducted. So when we talk of EGM, EGM is the meeting which is held between two AGMs. So दो AGMs के बीच में एक urgent matter आ गया जिस पे डिस्कशन की ज़रूरत है और बीच में ही हमको मीटिंग कंडक्ट करना पड़ रहा है ऑफ ऑल द मेंबर्स ऑफ द कंपनी, तो उसको बोलते हैं एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग. ये एजीएम को काफ़ी टाइम है, एजीएम अभी नहीं हो सकता है, एजीएम तो फाइनेंशियल ईयर एंड होने के बाद ही होगा. एजीएम को काफ़ी टाइम है, बट जो मैटर है, द मैटर इन हैंड, इट नीड्स इमीडिएट अटेंशन. इमीडिएटली उस मैटर पे डिस्कस करना पड़ेगा और डिसीजन लेना पड़ेगा. तो उस सिचुएशन में ईजीएम इज हेल्ड, एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग. अभी एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग, who has the authority to call an extraordinary general meeting? Two situations here again. The extraordinary general meeting can be called by the board of directors. So the board of directors, they are of the view that there is some urgent matter which has to be dealt with. So the board of directors may themselves call an extraordinary general meeting. Or the second situation is, शेयरहोल्डर्स ऑफ द कंपनी वो लोग रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स से कि आप एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग कॉल करो, ये पर्टिकुलर मैटर पे डिसीजन लेना है. क्या हुआ, फर्स्ट सिचुएशन था जहाँ पे बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स वर सुओ मोटो calling for an extraordinary general meeting without any request from the shareholders. The second situation is where board of directors, they call an extraordinary general meeting but upon request of the shareholders. So first situation क्या था, board of directors, they were calling the extraordinary general meeting suo moto by their own selves. They were themselves calling for a meeting. But the second situation is the board of directors, they are calling for an extraordinary general meeting upon request received from the shareholders. अभी क्या एक शेयर होल्डर जाके बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स को बोलेगा कि आप एक एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग कॉल करो तो बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स कॉल कर लेंगे, है ना? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. इट इज़ नॉट दिस वे, इट डजंट वर्क दिस वे. Now say I am a shareholder of the company, I hold only 2 shares in that company, I go to the board and say नहीं नहीं ये urgent matter है और इस पर अभी के अभी डिस्कशन करना है, आप एक EGM कॉल करो. Do you think board of directors will call a meeting? मेरा ऐसा बोलने पर बिल्कुल नहीं करेंगे. So what is the limit which is being prescribed? So कितने shareholders का request जाना चाहिए to the board of directors when the board of directors want to call a meeting? So this meeting, which is called by the board of directors upon request of the shareholders, it is also called as a requisition meeting. Requisition meeting because it is a meeting called upon request. अभी रिक्वेस्ट के लिए क्या लिमिट स्पेसिफाई किया गया है? रिक्वेस्ट के लिए जो लिमिट स्पेसिफाई किया गया है वो है शेयर होल्डर्स होल्डिंग नॉट लेस देन 1/10 of the paid up capital or holding not less than 1/10 of the total voting power of the company. अभी ऐसे अलग अलग क्यों पेड अप कैपिटल भी और टोटल वोटिंग पावर भी? सो wherein a company has share capital, वहाँ पे देखा जाएगा ये लिमिट 1/10 of the total paid up capital. And where a company does not have any share capital, वहाँ पे देखा जाएगा the total voting power which the shareholders have. So किसके request पे board of directors EGM call करेंगे? On request of shareholders holding not less than 1/10 of the total paid up capital or total voting power as the case may be. Say shareholders holding 1/10 of the total share capital, they have made a request to the board to hold an extraordinary general meeting. So after request क्या होता है? So once the request is made, to the board of directors, what happens after this? एक बार request करने के बाद क्या होता है? It is the board who has to call the meeting. Now once the request is made, board of directors को they'll have to give a notice, 21 days का notice. So request can be made by the shareholders to the board of directors. Now when we talk of request, now when the shareholders are making a request, तो उनको जो requisition form होता है उनका, जब वो request भेज रहे हैं to the company, what are the things they have to state in it? So the first thing which they have to state is the matters for consideration. मतलब क्या? What are the matters which the shareholders want to be considered? What is the agenda with which the they want to call this extraordinary general meeting? So matters for consideration have to be stated in this requisition, in this request which is being sent, and this requisition document, it has to be signed by all the shareholders. Basically the shareholders who are making the request, by all the requisitionists. So all the requisitionists, they shall sign this document, and this document shall be delivered to the registered office of the company. So registered office में ये document जो है वो deliver करना चाहिए. Now the request from shareholders has been received. Now it is the board of directors turn. सो रिक्वेस्ट रिसीव होने के बाद बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स क्या करेंगे? द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स shall within 21 days from the date of requisition, they should give a notice for conduct of EGM. So जैसे ही बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स के पास ये रिक्वेजिशन जाता है, within 21 days they should issue a notice for notice containing the date, time, place of the extraordinary general meeting, and the extraordinary general meeting shall be held within 45 days from the date of requisition. So the extraordinary general meeting जो बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स कॉल कर रहे हैं, दे शुड कॉल द एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग within 45 days. The EGM shall be held within 45 days from the date of requisition, and the notice about EGM shall be given by the board within 21 days from the date when the requisition has been received by the board. So 2 time limits. 21 days is the time limit within which the notice of EGM shall be issued by the board of directors, and 45 days is the time limit within which the meeting has to be conducted. So 2 चीज़ें हैं. 21 days जो है वो notice देने के लिए. Within 21 days board of directors they'll have to give a notice that ये जगह पे इस दिन EGM conduct होने वाला है. और 45 days का जो time limit है वो है for the purpose of conducting EGM. मतलब 45 डेज में EGM कंडक्ट हो जाना चाहिए और 21 डेज में नोटिस सेंड हो जाना चाहिए बाय द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स. बट इफ द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स दे फेल टू सेंड अ नोटिस फॉर कंडक्ट ऑफ EGM विद इन 21 डेज, तो क्या होगा उस सिचुएशन में? उस सिचुएशन में जो शेयर होल्डर्स है ना, जो रिक्विजिशनिस्ट है, वो लोग खुद EGM कॉल कर सकते हैं, वो लोग खुद नोटिस भेज सकते हैं फॉर कंडक्ट ऑफ EGM. So this is one exceptional situation which comes up in case of EGM. AGM के केस में it is not the shareholder, it is the company which sends the notice. But यहाँ EGM के केस में अगर board of directors they fail to give the notice for conduct of EGM, then the shareholders themselves, the requisitionists themselves, the people who are requesting, they can themselves send a notice and hold EGM. And they can hold the EGM within 3 months from the deposit of requisition form. So within 3 months from the date of deposit of requisition form, the shareholders can themselves call an extraordinary general meeting. This will happen when the board of directors they fail to call an EGM. They fail to call an EGM upon the request received by the shareholders. So अगर 45 days में EGM conduct नहीं हो रहा है, 21 days में notice नहीं जा रहा है, then in that situation the shareholders may themselves conduct the EGM within 3 months from the date of deposit of this requisition form. अभी कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं मीटिंग तो नोटिस वगैरह भेजना पड़ेगा, शेयर होल्डर्स भेज रहे हैं यहाँ पे नोटिस. सो जब शेयर होल्डर्स नोटिस भेज रहे हैं, दे विल ऑल्सो इनकर सम एक्सपेंसेस. सो हु विल बेयर दिस एक्सपेंसेस? द एक्सपेंसेस हैव टू बी बोर्न बाय द कंपनी. ऐसे कैसे? शेयर होल्डर्स आर कॉलिंग द मीटिंग, सो दे शुड बेयर द एक्सपेंसेस. मीटिंग किसका हो रहा है? मीटिंग कंपनी का हो रहा है. और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसकी थी? बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स की थी टू कॉल फॉर द मीटिंग. दे फेल टू डू इट एंड दैट्स वाई द शेयर होल्डर्स हैड टू डू इट. अभी शेयर होल्डर्स कर रहे हैं तो अगर वो एक्सपेंसेस इनकर कर रहे हैं तो उनको रीइंबर्स करो. एक्सपेंसेस शैल बी बोर्न बाय द कंपनी. सो मीटिंग का एक्सपेंस हो रहा है, मीटिंग के नोटिस के लिए एक्सपेंस हो रहा है. द कॉस्ट, द एक्सपेंसेस आर टू बी बोर्न बाय द कंपनी. So we've now understood what is AGM, what is EGM, who can call AGM, who can call EGM, कौन से situation में EGM conduct होगा. So EGM is basically for an urgent business, for a special business which has to be transacted, which has to be dealt with. So we have also understood that EGM, जब shareholders they themselves call for the EGM, in that situation whatever expenses are incurred by the shareholders shall be reimbursed to the shareholders by the company. It is like this. Let's put it this way. से आपका बर्थडे पार्टी है और आप पार्टी थ्रो कर रहे हो फॉर ऑल योर फ्रेंड्स. पे कौन करेगा? Who will incur the expenses? Definitely you. Will you ask your friends to pay for your birthday party? Definitely not. आप party throw कर रहे हो तो expense भी आपको ही incur करना पड़ेगा, right? So meeting भी company का हो रहा है. Shareholders call कर रहे हैं, shareholders notice भेज रहे हैं, पर meeting किसका हो रहा है? Company का हो रहा है. तो expenses किसको incur करने पड़ेंगे? Company को incur करने पड़ेंगे. The company will incur expenses. So EGM, even if it is called by the shareholders, even if it is called by the requisitionists, the expenses shall be reimbursed by the company to the requisitionist. So let's now talk of notice of meeting, which is dealt with under section 101.